Oh, I wanted to discard their hand! Oh, that was so... Okay, that was powerful. What's up, Jamers? Today we have an amazing deck, JUND Bombs. And by bombs, I mean a bunch of 5 and 6 drops and 4 drops where we're playing some of the new cards from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. What cards am I talking about? There's some cool synergies in this deck too, but let's go ahead and go over those cards. We have Mukotai Soulripper. It is in vehicle. It's a 4/3 for 2 mana. And this has a special synergy with this in this deck with Magda Brazen Outlaw, and I'll get into that in a second. But it's a 4/3 with crew 2. Whenever it attacks, you may sacrifice another artifact or creature. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on Mukotai Soulripper, and it gains mana till end of turn. So you play this card on turn 2, and on turn 3 you play Magda, and then you crew this using the Magda. Magda, when it becomes tapped, makes a treasure token, which is the artifact that you sacrifice for this to make this a 5/4 menace attacking on turn 3. So that is very powerful. Not including we have Jaspera Sentinel and Magda to maybe cast Goldspan Dragon, Junji the Midnight Sky, or Wrenn and Seven on turn 3 of the game. Other than that, we have some ways to accelerate out Atsushi the Blazing Sky, Esika's Chariot, and Halana and Alena due to Prosperous Innkeeper, Magda, and Jaspera Sentinel, as I said before. We have a nice curve, even if we don't do the combo start with Reckless Stormseeker into Atsushi, making this a 5/4 haste flying trample, or a hasty Chariot or Halana and Alena. I made a deck similar to this a little bit earlier in my, but this was before Kamigawa Neon Dynasty came out. This is a nice JUND build afterwards. We have Emerson Predator in the sideboard, some Duresses and Meathook Massacres, and Return to Nature because there's a lot of artifacts and enchantment decks that are coming out. And of course we have the cool Esika's Chariot plus Wrenn and Seven thing that basically wins the game by itself anyways, unless they have immediate removal. We have some staying power with this deck with Storm the Festival, so that we don't lose those really tough, grindy control matchups or Orzhov mid-range matchups. So I really hope you like this. Make sure to leave a like for the video and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content, or catch me live at twitch.tv/TheOneJame to see all of these live and to see all of the losses, all of the missed land drops, all of the flooding out, and all of the fun times that we have on stream live together. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the matches, and it all starts right now. I mean, is this a turn 3 Halana? I think it is, so I think I'm going to keep this. We go 1 and then 2, and then I play an untapped land, and then Sentinel tap the other Sentinel, cast Halana, and then put counters on Sentinel. And that's if I don't draw anything else. Of course, if I draw Magda, it's broken. Reckless Stormseeker, that's not the worst. We do this into this. We're playing against Orzhov, so... Oh, no, we're playing against Esper Control. Interesting. So we're not going to play into Jawar Disruption here? We're going to go red Stormseeker. Okay. Then Stormseeker Halana. Our Stormseeker probably dies, right? There's no way Stormseeker doesn't die here, right? Please live. They're going to cast a spell, right? Because they don't want it to turn into nighttime? Cast a spell. Cast a spell. Cast a spell. Vanishing Verse in main phase. You'd love to see it. Alright, and we go this into this. And we will grow this and attack here like this for 4, put them to 10. They could have a sweeper, but we do have Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Ooh, Path of Peril. Oh my gosh, Goldspan. Come on over. Goldspan? Counters on Goldspan. Attack for 8. Wow. And I guess we might as well do this too, because it's free. Oh my gosh. feel like that was kind of unfair. Yeah, and even if they had Doomscar, we have Hive of the Eye Tyrant for game. Oh my gosh! Woo! Oh my! Oh my! Oh jeez. His hand's like pretty bad, but I'm keeping it. Yeah, it's fine, Nimble. If you submit a list, I'll build a sideboard for Historic. That's why when Mythic Reward for Mastery Pass gave you a Wandering Emperor, you put it in your Orzhov deck right away. Oh my gosh, I know. The card's just so good. It literally stole that game. There was no way I lost that. Well, then again, me drawing lands, a bunch of lands in a row also helps my opponent. Okay. Rarely Mythic, how's it going? All right, that went about as well as I would hope to. Okay, that's the only land in their hand because if it wasn't the only land in their hand, they would keep it for Esika's Chariot. That's how I know they have 0 lands in hand, or another copy of Iganjo. I'm going to do this before combat, because I don't know if I want to crew this or not, and I also don't know if I want to just attack with the 2/2 cat, so this maybe give me some more information. Aha, it did give me more information. Perfect. Every white deck you played against today had Aspirant on turn 2? You know the good white players from the bad ones by how often they have it on turn 2, right? They said oops. Alright, they got their land. Is there a Doomscar? Path of Peril? Alright. Okay. Land is really good here. Maybe that's a counterspell? Am I supposed to just jam Storm the Festival here? No, I don't think so. Wait, if I animate the Hive, they can kill the Hive? And then I don't have enough mana for Storm the Festival next turn? They could have Salt coming? It's either Salt coming or Doomscar. What's my best play if it's Assault coming? My best play if it's Assault coming is definitely using Hive. I'm just going to use the Hive. Oh my gosh, I can use this to crew the Chariot too. That's funny. Yeah, it's Salt coming, I think. Ooh, go blank. I think I'm just gonna keep attacking like I have been. On the 2. They're like, okay, enough's enough. I'm getting rid of it. Enough's enough. Finally got the land. Is that an Angel's card? Farewell, exile artifacts. Okay, can I draw an untap land? Thank you. Maybe I should have go blanked. I kind of just jammed the Storm in the Festival. That's not a Goldspan Dragon. Doomscar and March. Alright. Lol. Yikes. Did they just top deck that? They did top deck that. Come on, can I draw a creature? It's so frustrating that, like, off the top, last game was the Wandering Emperor to steal the game. This time it's Lolth off the top. Alright, decent. It just gets countered, right? Oh. Okay. This sacrifices this, and I get to make treasure tokens? Which would let me cast Storm the Festival next turn. Or I can exile the top 2 and cast them. Plus this would gain Menace. Then they just double block it. No, if I kill this... I know, but if I kill this, then they just animate Hollow Storm Giants. And then block it anyway. Oh, man. Remove one of them, then they have Hollow Storm Giants. Atsushi has Trample. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna make it survive a turn. Looks like a farewell or something. Oh, it's Doomscar, right? I mean, if it's Doomscar, I can just make treasure tokens and cast Storm the Festival. They top-decked Farewell. Wow. My best chance at Goldspan Dragon is creating 3 treasure tokens, right? Oh no! Oh, the tokens get exiled too! Oh! Oh no! I needed to exile the cop cards! Oh no! Oh god, I forgot about that. How did I forget about that? Oh god! Oh! Oh my! I could have won if I just got a Goldspan off the top, or like anything relevant at all! Now I'm at 7. Can I top deck something I need? Top deck something. Stormseeker! I would have drawn this. Can I win? 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 Oh, it feels so good. I got bailed out so hard. Oh, I got bailed out so hard. Oh. Oh. Tokens are artifacts. Chat confirmed. All this hand needs is a turn 1 elf, and we're broken. MTG bots whispering again? God, tell MTG bot to speak up. Stop whispering. 1,000 point closer to becoming a Pokemon Master. Listen, nobody's a Pokemon Master yet, so the first Pokemon Master is extra special in my heart, chat. Alright, they block. Then we cast Chariot. Look at that Plains. Innkeeper? Midnight Sky. I'm gonna do this just in case they have Vanishing Verse. Doesn't seem like they have Vanishing Verse. I'm just gonna pass. Heyo! When it dies, look at the top 7, put any number of non-land permanents until I'm out 4 or less from among them onto the battlefield. What? I'm supposed to kill that? Let's see what they get. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel, AO. Get a Chariot? I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Chariot. Also, like, double Innkeeper, potentially. Just an overall oddity. Sure. I kill this one. And Scoo! I'm gonna keep this in the hopes that I draw Magda. It ain't a Magda. But if I draw Magda, we're broken. Okay. Elite Spellbinder. So do they take Atsushi since that's the one I can cast? Nope. Do they have a removal spell for Atsushi? That's a Chariot. Alright, I'm casting that then. Orzhov has a ton of exile removal? Oh my gosh, I know. Between Vanishing Verse and Rite of Oblivion. A double Spellbinder? Well, good thing I can cast that next turn, if I want to tap my creatures. Aha. You finally remembered to do a deck submission. Alright, sick. Alright, I can cast Atsushi. Whether it's good or not's a different story. I mean, it's probably okay. If they double block me, that's fine. They lose 2 creatures and I have a whole bunch of creatures here. Unless they have like a sweeper or something, but I wouldn't expect them to play sweepers with Elite Spellbinder in their deck. Especially in green-white. Aha! It's a Wrenn. That's a 5/5?
The entire forest is in awe.
That is an Immersturm Predator. This does have trample. I can cast Goldspan. What if I go 1, 2, 3? That means they let Wrenn die, and then they block Atsushi. Then when they block Atsushi, it dies. So then I can exile the top cards and play them.
The forest will be overrun.
That seemed to have worked out. Ooh, Felidar. And Scoop. Couldn't deal with the Immersturm Predator and all the value. Alright. Egger sucks? Well, tell my opponent last game. Like, Edgar kept him alive, made a bunch of creatures. If I attack and they block, they can cast Sorin. Or Hacker Mauling. I don't know, I need to get the Trump blockers out of the way anyway. This is so annoying. I guess I shouldn't have attacked. I can't deal with this. I need to draw a Return to Nature then. I don't think I want to meet Hook yet. More lands. Wow. Drawing lands is my thing, chat. My rite of passage. Jeez. Do I kill Ao or Soren? Oh wait, Ao, because that kills me faster. Oh my gosh! If this dies on my turn, they can still use its ability as long as they enter the battlefield this turn. It doesn't have to be cast. That's insane. I mean, I'm kind of assuming they have Meat Hook. Well, no, they can give their thing first strike. Okay, they didn't even have to do that. Yeah, they did. Never mind. They have Hagar Mauling. Another land, of course, because why not? Gosh, that deck seems insane. Maybe I need to mulligan more aggressively with this deck. Like maybe keeping hands like this isn't good enough. Just kidding, it's good enough. I drew Magda. Sure? Well, that seems pretty good. So they do this and they search for reduced memory. Okay, Necrotic Fumes, that works too. They're not going to cast it. Oh, they have Rite of Oblivion. Okay. Back with this. Now they can meat hook for 2, and that would suck. At least I still have this. Okay. Using Magda? Or... Junji? Because it discards their hand? Oh, I wanted to discard their hand! Oh, that was so... Okay, that was powerful. Keep it! The Nut Draw! Don't kill my thing! What the heck is this? I lost my nut draw. Crap. Or damage. Alright, so next turn I get to cast Goldspan. Perfect. Unless they go 0 mana artifact, untap red source, Voltaic Surge this for 4. Is there a 0 mana artifact? I don't think so. Alright, so next turn I have another Goldspan Dragon. If I draw an untapped land, I can go Goldspan Dragon into Wrenn and Seven, which is insane. Just kidding, I can't do that, right? Ooh, Duress. Super timely Duress. They're thinking. They're thinking because they were like, wow, that was insane. That's what they're thinking. They're saying it right now. Wow. Woo. Oh, dirty. Dirty. Oh, crap. I just realized I don't have green mana. Guess we take their card advantage? Alright, now I have green mana next turn. Please don't kill my thing. Alright, do they go land? It says till end of turn they can cast it, right? Yeah, so boom, boom. Or do they hold up the Disruption Protocol? What if they Disruption Protocol my Jaspera Sentinel? Please don't do it. Good. Do they have 4 mana available right now? You never really use the activated ability of Synthesizer, so what do you use it for? Just as something to tap and to draw you a card? Or like to sacrifice it? Okay. Oh, this is broken together. Prototype and Magda? Sick. I'm still not drawing green. So I guess I play Imarith or Goldspan as their dragon? Well, they have Protocol, so I guess I'm going Bugbear. And then I'll just, like, cast my other Sentinel. Well, I guess Sentinel Magda is almost the same thing as Moonsnare prototype plus Magda. You just get a bunch of mana. They have a counter spell. Triple green card, 0 green mana. Things you'll love to see. I guess I'm attacking with Den of the Bugbear? Well, that's a cool synergy. I make the thing and then I sack the thing. Synergies that I didn't know existed. I wonder what dragon they're playing. It's probably Goldspan. Green mana! Whoa! Imagine. Alright, so here's where they counter this. Alright, so they're gonna get Goldspan? Oh, they can get an artifact too, never mind. They can get whatever artifact they want. What artifact would you like? Reckoner Bankbuster, okay? It is a good draw. Not draw, but good card to have. Waterdeep? Okay. Prototype? Sure. One? Wow. Okay. It doesn't have haste. I guess it just makes it into a 4/4. Can I actually cast Storm the Festival like this? Nope, still can't. Oh. Weird, but look at this. Do this. Give it counters. Swing. See if they block, I guess. Sure. Alright, so I have Halana, see if they can answer it. They might just keep throwing chump blockers at it. On the bright side, I can cast Storm the Festival next turn because I have that 1/1 in the Halana and Alena. Hey James, how the game's going? Pretty well, pretty well. I like JUND aggressively slanted mid-range decks anyway, and this is right up my alley, so we're trying to perfect it. We're trying to get it. We're trying to get it to the point where it can really contend, which is really good. Okay, Shatterskull Smashing is unfortunate for us. Oh my gosh, if they didn't have that Shatterskull, we would have been in luck. Alright, here we go. Chariot Stormseeker. We take those. Alright, what do you have for my kitty army opponent? Moon Snare, make a blocker, make a treasure. Blackstaff, yep. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Block, 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 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good game! That's not turn 1 Sentinel. I also don't have black mana. I'm gonna mulligan this. Oh my goodness. Mulligan again. Alright, here we go. Back to Storm. Oh my gosh, do I put back a land? I'll put back a land because I live on the edge. We live life on the edge, chat. On the edge of our seats. Aha! Rewarded. You should do a mythic push one of these days, but magic can be stressful. That is 100% correct. Alright, it's time to get Jawari Disruption, or I could not get Jawari Disruption, attack for 2 and make a treasure token to play around it. Fading Hope. Alright, now I'm going to play this. For some reason, CSGO is less stressful. There are things wrong with me. I mean, I think Magic's less stressful than Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Gets boring after a while, especially if we're playing the same deck, but... like, there's definitely pluses and minuses, for sure. Now let's go Reckless Stormseeker here. Please don't have another copy of whatever it's called, Fading Hope. Let's freaking go. Alright, now they're forced to play another spell on their turn, or else they want to give you Trample. They play Expressive Iteration, unfortunate. They're going to play Hanada. We don't currently have an answer to Hanada. If we draw an untapped land, there's a good chance we win the game. Have I used Battery? Yes, I have. It's in my most recent YouTube video. Rabbit Battery is indeed adorable. That's an untapped land. Alana? Hog? Attack for a lot? Alright, they're at 9. I have 9 damage on board. What say you, opponent? Please don't Doomscar. Oh god. Give this haste. Back. Third one. Was there a way I had lethal there? I'm not sure. I don't think so, though. I think I'm going to keep this. I mean, it's a risky keep for sure. But I don't think I can pass up Stormseeker in this matchup. Alright, cool. Alright, they could have Fading Hope to put this on blue. That's fine if they have Fading Hope because they don't have it. It's really important to get the day-night cycle going early against control decks. Because then it kind of forces them to like play cards on their own turn. They don't really want to do that. Alright, they could go Expressive Iteration and like kind of get an untapped land and maybe an Abrade or something, and then go land Abrade. I have second. Oh. Okay. Discard to hand size? Og? Go black mana. I think I'm going to turn it to nighttime instead of playing a second Stormseeker. If I played both Stormseekers and then I get swept, then I lose both my threats, and that's really bad. Hey, look, a Braid. I don't think I'm casting anything this turn, because I think I'm going to use this to mill card and channel it to get back my Stormseeker out of the grave. This is where Soul Shatter comes in. I think Soul Shatter might be the single best card against this deck, which is why I have 3 in the 75. Because it doesn't require you to target anything, because Hanada makes your things cost one more to target. And it gets rid of their Goldspan and Hanada. Shatterskull, that's unfortunate. Duress is pretty good. Burn down the house and Disdainful Stroke. I don't have anything to Disdainful Stroke. And then I can Soul Shatter the Goldspan. Alright, what I can do here is I can go this for black. 1, 2, 3, 4. Channel. Get back Stormseeker, and channel doesn't count as casting a spell. So it'll still be nighttime when it goes to their turn, and I can still hit them for 5 here. A little unfortunate that this flood is happening here, but at least I have pressure, and they have a Disdainful Stroke. I think I'm just gonna Duress. Alright, one draw, what do you have? Scoop is what they have! Yes! Alright, I think this deck might be good against the Jeskai deck. Baroness of Arcadia. What is that, from the 100? Anyone seen the show The 100? Isn't that what they call their land? Or am I mistaken? They call it Arcadia? Oh, let's see. Soulripper? Yep, you saw that show, all of it? Oh my gosh, the 100 has to be like, what, my second or third favorite show ever? Alright, my deck's not really helping me out here. Looks like this might be Vanishing Verse, so it makes sense for us to do this. But unfortunately, our Mukotai probably gets Vanishing Verse, which is terrible for us. But at least that means that Esika's Chariot doesn't get versed. I like the opponent sequencing there. Like, you got to give me the opportunity to mess up and sack the Halana right there, right? Even though like nobody would. All right, now I can give my Chariot counters. Or I can give my Halana, make my Halana have haste. Or the thing. I think I'm going Chariot, though. I do like the Soulripper Halana interaction where Halana crews the Soulripper and then it gives it counters and also menace. Lolth? Is Lolth coming down? Don't remind Arcadia that it didn't rewatch the show lately. It's 7 seasons. I need to rewatch that show. Alright, what if... We can't go Soulripper and Wrenn, which is unfortunate. So let's just go Wrenn, just because next turn we can plus it to try to find a red mana for Goldspan. There's probably another instant speed removal spell here, but we do what we gotta do. I don't want them to have any world where they kill my Wrenn here. I'm not attacking with the 7/7. They could technically meat hook for 5 with an untapped land next turn. They can meat hook for 4 without an untapped land. It could also just like... Oh. That hurts. That does hurt a lot. Yikes, that hurt. That was all lands. Okay. Gotta stop the Wrenn from dying.
Our resolve burns within us. Bask in nature's beauty.
Please don't have Vanishing Verse. Alright. They are at 6.
We are wilting.
They have no more tokens from Wedding Festivity. Necrotic Fumes doesn't really do anything. They can chump block with Cave. They can also have Meat Hook. There's a thing they could have. They can also gain life from the Meat Hook and also gain life from the thing that gets a land, Environmental Sciences. They're gonna get that. They've cast Sorin, okay. Yikes.
No.
Another Chariot.
I bring my own army.
That's actually really good, right? Then I can attack. And make them chump with the 3/4, but then they just make another one, right? I need to make sure that Sorin dies. Then I copy a token. And then I sack the token. Then I can keep copying token, sacking token, so I never have to sacrifice any creatures.
I won't let this be over.
Alright, hopefully there's not another Blood in the Snow. Weird that they're playing Blood in the Snow with barely any snowlands. Oh my god, that's good. I can make this 6-power Menace. What does that do? Should probably just do this, though. Huh. I can return Halana to the... I can return Halana and Alena to my board when this dies? Actually, that's unfortunate that I just sacked that. Oh well. I can still use Den of the Bugbear. Alright, I think I'm in a good spot. I have the vehicle. It's a 6 power right now. Can get Menace. They're at 9. I have a Menace flying Junji. And then when Junji dies, I can... Okay. Unfortunate. So we're going to do that, and they're going to exile my Junji. And then at least I have a Storm the Festival. I don't know why they didn't use Rite of Oblivion, because I can use my land to exile their Rite of Oblivion. It's actually lethal on board also. Wow, that was crazy. I think I duress right now. They also mulliganed? Yeah. I think that Deadly Dispute was super important. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Thoughtseize bug, really? Right now? Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow.
Out of my way. I have a way.
Jeez, that was dumb.
Dire times call for dire tactics. I will not spare you. My ways are not for the weak.
Imagine a mold of 5. And then having 6 cards in hand, 4 lands, and a Sorin. Because they top decked Deadly Dispute. If they don't top deck Deadly Dispute there, there's a really good shot that I just win the game immediately. You don't know how they did Adorable Robo Animals, but they did. They find a way. They find a way, Floofies. So I guess I'm going black into Goldspan, into attacking the Sorin, if he doesn't minus it. Crap. So I guess I could be going Meat Hook here.
You deal with this annoyance.
Guess I'll go Meat Hook for 3. Please don't have a third Deadly Dispute. Come on. You're kidding. You're kidding. Right? You're kidding, right? No! How can it be so lucky? How? Chat, can you tell me?
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
Another random flyer. Come on. Stop casting random flyers. You're surprised I'm not playing it? Well, I make a YouTube video every day of a different deck, so I can't really play it every day. You been enjoying Mono Black Midrange? Yeah, I feel like that's a good deck, but missing out on Vanishing Verse and Rite of Oblivion, I think is just like too steep. I think it's like too steep of a thing to miss out on. And like, you don't really have to play a lot of white sources to play those cards. Like 13, 14. At least I made the meat hook their board, and then I can kill the Sorin with the Den.
Dire times call for dire tactics. Darkness I return.
All the chump blockers. I can get Goldspan Dragon back? I also milled Storm. And exactly enough mana to cast Storm from Grave next turn. Unless I deal with my Goldspan Dragon. Somehow with like Soul Shatter or something. But if they target it, I can still cast Storm. Now, they could exile it out of my graveyard with Hive of the Eye Tyrant, but I still have Wrenn. Yep, that's what they're doing. Smart. Smart. We took Massacre one time. Junji, that's not bad. I can cast both of these.
Come, Seven. It is time for back. Every seed contains.
Gold Go Blank, which is kind of unfortunate. What does Invoke Despair do again? They might be able to kill my Wrenn if they go Hive. But then I can kill them if they don't play a flyer or sacrifice their lifelinkers, then I could win. They can also confront the past, back their Sorin and minus it too. They can confront the past and kill Wrenn if they wanted to. Game? Yes! Beat Orzhov. Alright, Jammers, you saw the absolute destruction that we took upon our opponents there. Junji was pretty powerful there. Halana, obviously powerful, but what do we think of Mukotai Soulripper? We got in for a lot of damage in some of those games. I like this card. The fact that it synergizes with Den of the Bugbear, when this makes a 1/1, you can sacrifice the 1/1. You can order the stack to where you can make the 1/1 before the Soulripper gets to sacrifice. And it doesn't have sacrifice as cost, it sacrifices part of the effect, so you do get to make the 1/1 before you sacrifice with this. Very powerful. Also synergizes with different things like Goldspan Dragon making the treasures of this, Magda making the treasure for Soulripper. Also, a couple times we had Esika's Chariot make a copy of another treasure, then sacrifice that treasure to Soulripper. So I think it was pretty good synergy there. Soul Shatter, as you saw against the Jeskai matchup against Hanada and other Goldspan Dragons. Soul Shatter is one of the best premium removal spells in this format. And also, we did change some things in the sideboard as we were going along in our matches, namely Baleful Mastery. We didn't get to see a lot of our times that we lost, though, during this video, but we did. I'll tell you a little bit of full transparency here. We did lose to Edgar a couple times, so that's why I put Baleful Mastery in the sideboard as exile removal. If you're playing in best of one, you might want to think about Edgar as well, and maybe play a copy of this in your main deck. We also have a Mr. and Predator here that put in a lot of work as well. So I really hope you like the deck. I hope you like casting huge spells in JUND colors, and I hope to see you in the next video right over here. Make sure to leave a like to the video if you like it, and spread it to some more people, and catch me live if you'd like to see my content live and see every single match that I play. I'll see you right over here. And as always, peace.